And this is the fight that everyone has waited for. Shaun Scott taking on Jason Christenson. This one is going to be huge, so let's send it up to the cage to Tony Biondo to get us started.
Please welcome to the cage, Shaun Scott.
Shaun Scott is the consummate athlete. Shaun comes to us via Scott Health and Fitness, where he trains daily. Shaun Scott has some big notable wins in his 7-2 career, including wins over Kyle Kurtz, who we will see later tonight, as well as Luke Nelson, who has spent a lot of time in the Shamrock FC cage. Look for Scott to try to stop the takedown and control the actions of Christenson in his attempt to take home that Shamrock FC 185-pound title tonight. This one is gonna be big. Shaun Christenson. Shaun Scott is definitely the consummate athlete in this fight. He is going to be the hardest thing that Jason Christenson has ever had to face.
Shaun Scott is a phenomenal athlete. He can take this fight anywhere. He's been working jiu-jitsu with Brian Guidry, so that's going to be very much improved. I can't wait to see how Shaun Scott handles the takedowns of Jason Christenson.
Yeah, he has definitely been working on that, so we will see how it all plays out. Here we go.
Please welcome to the cage, Jason Christenson.
This is a huge fight that everyone in this crowd has been waiting for. This will go down for the Shamrock FC middleweight title. Jason Christenson has been on an absolute tear here in Shamrock Fighting Championships. No opponent has been able to stop this state champion wrestler. Look for Christenson to throw his hands, but he will always be looking for the takedown. As we go to our tail of the tape, Shaun Scott coming us at 26 years old, 5'10", 184 pounds. Jason Christenson, 37 years old, 5'11", 185 pounds, out of Bethalto, Illinois. This one will be big. Christenson is going to look to control the pace, take this fight to the ground, and beat up Shaun Scott. The crowd is absolutely electric here to get this one started.
All right, fight fans, here we go. This contest is scheduled for three 3-minute rounds in the Shamrock Fighting Championship middleweight division. It's brought to you by Page Law and by Chuck's Boots. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This young man comes to us by way of St. Louis, Missouri. He represents Scott's Health and Fitness. He has a mixed martial arts record of 6 victories, only 2 defeats. He stands 5'10" and weighed in officially at 184 pounds. Introducing Shaun Scott. And now, fight fans, introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This young man comes to us by way of Bethalto, Illinois. He represents Finney's MMA. He has a mixed martial arts record of 3 victories, no defeats. He stands 5'11" and weighed in officially at 185 pounds. Introducing Jason Christenson. Our referee for this contest is Mark Wasson.
Mark Wasser is the third man in the cage tonight to get things started on this Shamrock FC middleweight title fight. This one is going to be electric.
The crowd is pumped, Jeremy. Here we go. Jason Christensen, by the way, is a huge middleweight.
Oh, and he already lands a big takedown.
Let's see how the jiu-jitsu of Shaun Scott can handle these big takedowns and big punches of Jason Christensen. Shaun Scott does a very nice job of getting back to his feet. Christensen, right to the single leg, runs the pipe. Might be in a guillotine.
He is in a guillotine, I believe, but he is about to pull that head out. There we go.
Powered his way out of that guillotine. He is a big, strong man in there, Jeremy, making Shaun Scott look little, and Shaun Scott is not a small middleweight.
Not in the least. Shaun Scott now making some moves, but still nothing against the power of Jason Christensen.
Christensen is all power all the time. I'm very curious to see if this goes into the second and third round, how the cardio of Christensen is. He's looking for that rear naked choke. Scott is defending it well. Christensen has both hooks in and flattened Scott out. He's going to throw some big punches, try and soften up Scott, try and stick that hand under for the rear naked choke.
Yeah, I am very interested to see how the cardio of Jason Christenson plays out, if it's even needed. He cuts a ton of weight to make 185 pounds.
He has to. He is a big middleweight. And right now, Shaun Scott is supporting all that weight of Christenson right on his back the whole round. So even though Christenson might be a little tired from exerting all that energy, Scott's going to be tired from handling all the weight on top of him of Jason Christenson.
Big punches now coming from the top from Jason Christenson as he's working to get that other hook in.
Right now, he doesn't have his left hook in. Scott's going to want to turn into him to end up in his guard. He's not doing that. Scott's going to want to put his back flat to the mat and turn into Christenson.
Just under 1 minute remaining here to round one.
Now Scott's turning into him. He's going to end up on top in the guard of Christenson. Let's see if Scott can posture up and do any damage.
Let's see how the wrestler handles being on his back.
And now Scott has passed into mount. Christenson holding on to the head of Scott. Scott's going to want to push off with his forearm, create some space, start landing some big punches.
Shaun Scott now in full mount with 30 seconds left here in round one. What action.
Great action. Scott needs to do some damage to try and pull out this round. Now he's making some punches. He's going to want to push down the head of Christenson, posture up, and land some big strikes.
Right now it appears Jason Christenson is holding on for dear life to stop those punches with 10 seconds left here in round one.
This is the first time Christenson has been in this much danger in his career. Doing a very good job of surviving and holding on.
Round one over. What action.
Great round in round one. Great action. Christenson came out hard and strong, but Scott finished on top in the mount position. I'm going to give that round to Scott. I think the mount position is very important. Did some damage. Christenson looked very tired at the end of me.
That he did. He looked very tired going into this second round. This will be interesting because this is waters Jason Christenson hasn't been in yet. Yeah, Jason Christenson definitely looks very tired in the corner.
You know, Jason Christenson had control of that round, but didn't do any damage.
As we go to our instant replay here, we see Shaun Scott taking the mount position and begin to land that ground and pound. Oh, and we have a wave off in the corner.
The fight is over. The fight is over. Christenson cannot come out for the bell. Looks like a hurt knee, Jeremy.
Not what we wanted to see at the end here of this fight. This is never how anybody wants to win a fight, but Jason Christenson looks to be in serious pain.
And a backflip from Shaun Scott for his victory.
You know, he is definitely the consummate athlete, former U.S. National Gymnastics champion. Jason Christenson definitely looks hurt. Big, big backflip.
I'm not quite sure in that first round where Christenson hurt that knee. I didn't see anything blaring out, but could have been anywhere. A lot of big exchanges in that round.
Definitely some big, big shots landed. It almost seemed to come towards the end of the fight as they reversed positions. It possibly looked like Christenson had maybe twerked his knee at that point in time as they rotated through.
That is a very good chance, Jeremy, and most probably what happened.
Definitely a big win for Shaun Scott, although it's interesting as you thought Scott had that round one because of the mount.
It was a very close round. Again, that round could have gone either way. And
Christenson back up and being helped out of the cage.
Yeah, that knee looks to be pretty injured. You know, that's the thing about leaving these fights up to the judges, Jeremy. I saw that round one way. I believe you saw it the opposite way.
Correct.
That's why you don't want to let the judges decide your fate.
Very true. Let's send it up to the cage for our results.
Fight fans, the fighter did not answer the bell for round number 2, declaring the winner by TKO, Shaun Scott.
Shaun Scott moves his record now to 8-2.
He is the new Shamrock FC middleweight champion.